Hello, hello, this is Cara. We are on letter X, day 62, I think. I'm a little behind. Had to do mom stuff yesterday, so I think I'm a day behind. But here we are on letter X, and we are going to do something experimental and try making x-rays with alcohol inks and alcohol lift ink, this ink pad. Yeah, so let me show you. I've been playing off screen or off camera, and here is, I hope you can see it in the light, my x-ray. I don't know if you can try and get it to focus, but hopefully you can faintly see there is a skull on my page. Can you see that? Hopefully. Try to move around so you can see. So we're going to attempt to make x-rays. Here's my second attempt, my other attempt, I should say. I did several. This one's a little more faint. I don't know if I need to remove more of, here, let's see. So, a little bit. But yeah, there's my, I don't know if you can see. It kind of helps if you like shine it in a light, but I can't, because then it looks like a true x-ray. I can't really do that in this camera angle. But there's like the teeth here, eye socket. Yeah. Okay. So this is truly an experiment. I also tried making one with embossing, and that doesn't look like an x-ray at all. It's a cool effect, but that's not what I was going for. Okay, so you're going to need some acetate and alcohol ink. If I had black alcohol ink, it would be perfect. I was really tempted to run to Michael's and pick some up, but then I said no. I told myself, no, I'm going to use what I have. So that is why I have kind of a browny, darkish, but not black look. And I'm going to use caramel and eggplant to come up with a sort of dark version. But if I had black, that's what I would use. So if you have black alcohol ink, give this a try with that. Okay, so let's do a third try, shall we? We'll kind of go through this. All right, so first thing is I have obviously a matte, and then I have my two colors. And the times that I've been playing, I did it several ways, but I think putting some of the color in the middle helps. And so I'm going to put, oh, and the other thing you're going to need is alcohol blending solution, so that the colors blend together to almost get that black color that we're going for. And then I'm going to put a little bit of eggplant. Let's add a little more caramel in the middle. And then, I don't have an exact amount or science. It's still kind of just playing. And then we'll add some blending solution. Looks like my blending solution is leaky. That's not fun. All right, it's coming out of a weird angle. Okay, so we have some blending solution, and then this blower tool is perfect for this. And then we're just gonna kind of mix the colors around in the center. So we are trying to blend them together to get that darker color. And then once they're sort of blended, then I move the color around to the outer edge of the acetate. It's probably difficult to see since we're dealing with a clear sheet. Hopefully you can see it okay. Some of the ink will go under the acetate. That's perfectly fine. Some may not reach the edge. If you want, you can get more and add to it, but I think having a little bit of the white or the clear is kind of a cool effect too. And it gives you a place to pick up your paper. So here's what we have. We have kind of a brownish, grungy color. Again, black would make it look like a true true x-ray, right? But I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to set this aside, give it a second to dry, and clean it up. Whoa. clean up my mat with a baby wipe. If you want to wear gloves, it's a good idea because the ink will definitely stay on your hands and it will stay there for a while. Okay, so then if you have any skeleton types of stamps, pull those out. I only had a couple. I have this one, I have this one, and I have one more that we'll do in a second. But I think like a full body skeleton stamp would be awesome. Or, I mean, you don't even have to use a skeleton, but if we're going for an x-ray, I felt like that's what we needed. Okay, so then this is called Alcohol Lift ink, and it's a Ranger product from the Tim Holtz line, and you just put this on your stamp, and then what this will do is, just like it says, it will lift up some of the color. And I am by no means an expert at this. I've just been playing around trying to figure out how we can make it look like an x-ray. I'm going to turn it this way. And then I'm just going to act like I'm stamping it. I'm going to go straight down and I'm going to just sit there for a second. I don't know if you have to, but this is what I've been doing. Give it even pressure. I'm going to hold the acetate with my finger and lift it up. And you'll see the ink is now on the stamp. So get another baby wipe and you can wipe off your stamp to clean it. And then this is what we have, and you think, well, that doesn't look like much. This is what I've been doing. Again, not sure if it's the correct way, but I've just been kind of lightly taking my baby wipe and helping kind of remove some of that ink so that the skeleton kind of shows up more. And there we go. You can see its teeth and the back of its skull and its eyes. Can you see that in the camera? Kind of. That's pretty cool. Again, if you hold it up to the light, it really does look like an x-ray. Just going to wipe off the back a little bit. Yeah, pretty neat. Pretty cool, huh? It's x-ray adjacent. How about that? All right, so let's do, I have this one. I think this will be a cool one because it's the full skull. So I have a bigger piece of acetate. And let's get our colors. Oops, I want to do brown. All right, and then add a little bit of the eggplant. I might need a little more to get all over, so let's do that. All right, and then, see, I'm getting all the ink all over my fingers. Let's add a little blending solution. There we go. And smush it around, blend it up, and then push it out to the outer parts of the acetate. Now, of course, you wouldn't have to make it an x-ray. I think this would look fun with brighter colors too. And using the lift, it would give it a different feel. And you can make it springy, you can make it, you know, all different. looks like I'm going to need a little more. Add some down here. See how it's pushing that color? It's kind of crazy. Crazy stuff. All right, and then let's push that around. Try and cover the acetate a little bit more. All right, and then let's see. I think that looks cool. All right, I'm going to set that aside to dry for a second. It doesn't take long. Set that aside. Okay, so now let's take this and our stamp. I'm going to get a bigger stamp block. And we're going to add the alcohol lift ink. You can see on the stamp it gets a little shiny, so I think that's a good way to tell if you have the ink covered. I'm going to do a little more up here. All right, and then let's give this a try. And then firmly press, and I'm going to give it a second. Try and hold the page down and lift it off. And look, the ink came off. That's pretty good. Good sign. And then let's carefully that looks cool. Can you see it? Yeah, this one is a really good stamp for it. We have this big kind of smudgy part. So if that wasn't there, it would have been really cool, but that's just kind of how the alcohol ink decided to go. Yeah, there we go. Where's our x-ray? I used my dies to cut out a tag shape, and then at the same time I had another die and I ran it through so to cut out a window, and then I did it with two papers at the same time. I hope that makes sense. So I made a sandwich of my papers, the tag shape, and then this rectangle that cut out the window. And now let's put them together. We might have to trim a little bit of this paper, or acetate actually. Alright, we're gonna add some double-sided tape. Could use glue, I guess. Should we use glue? Yeah, because that will give us a little wiggle room. Let's try this new glue that I have. Whoa! Okay. And then we'll put our little x-ray in the window. And then we're going to need a little more glue so that we can glue our two pieces together. with our x-ray. Cute. I'm going to staple it. There we go. Different size. Okay, so then I'm going to trim these off. Could decorate both sides since it's a window tag. There we go. Pretty cool. Very cool. And then that's just could be a really cool tag in a journal. I dig it. All right, so I've also made the other two. Let me show you what I did. Same idea for this one. I just did a little bit different decoration. I added a little dangle at the top. And then this is fun. I didn't realize it till later, but a casket company on that one. So there's that one. And then this one, I used two of these layers, the photo studio layers, and put them back to back and then put it inside. Isn't that cool? And then that can be a fun card to add to a journal. Of course, I would ink the edges. You could even sew around it. That would be cool too. All right, so X is for X-ray. We have our 3 X-rays here. I hope, as always, you have a wonderful day.